Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Brand Momentum Morning Show. I'm your host, Faith James. Come on in, say hi. We are continuing to do this month's reading from Think and Grow Rich for Women. March is Women's History Month. And so all of this week, all of next week, all of through the entire month of March, we're going to be focusing on powering up women through their reach, their influence, and of course, money. So share this video, share this session, get your bestie. Good morning, Mary and Beautiful. Thank you for joining. Hello, Jacqueline Young Landy. Yes. Good morning, Julia. Thank you for joining, my loves. Yeah, so today's reading is in chapter 2, and it's entitled Faith. So go ahead and get into this mindset of faith, and we're going to read. Good morning, beautiful Deb. We're going to read the power of faith and what faith is, and get a broader definition, a broader understanding of what that means in terms of the impact, the potential impact it has on your life. So, faith, visualization of and belief in attainment of desire. Faith is the strength by which a shattered world shall emerge into the light. Helen Keller. Good morning, beautiful Melody. Thanks for joining, my love. So I'll read that again. Faith is the strength by which a shattered world shall emerge into the light. Helen Keller. So faith is what you need to emerge out of the darkness, wherever you are right now, in terms of your motivation, your energy, your belief that, things can happen for you. You need faith. And as I titled the show topic, you got to have faith. You got to have faith. You get to have faith. So, what is the first thought the word faith triggers in your mind? Napoleon Hill challenged the notion that faith is only about religious belief. Faith, or lack thereof, truly defines your destiny. Good morning, Facebook user. Who is this? Comment again with your name, or please click around. When you see the link that says I'm going live with StreamYard, if you click that, StreamYard will show your name. Faith, or lack thereof, truly defines your destiny. So if you don't have faith in yourself, if you don't have faith in your abilities to do whatever it is that you have a burning desire to do, that's going to define your destiny. It creates the roadmap that your subconscious follows. And one thing we need to know about the subconscious is that the subconscious has no ability to reject, right? Whatever you put in is what it's taking in, right? Your subconscious is not there saying, Juliet, why would you say that? Why would you say that you don't ever get this thing, whatever this thing is, right? Marion, why would you say, you're not good with money management? Melody, why would you say you're not good at connecting with high-level executives? Your subconscious mind is not going to ask you any questions. It's just going to take whatever you give it. Very powerful. It's very important that we understand that. Negativity and lack of faith gets more negativity. On the other hand, optimism, positivity, and faith create the foundation from which success can be built. I'm going to say that again. Negativity and lack of faith beget more negativity. On the other hand, optimism, positivity, and faith create the foundation from which success can be built. The feeling and knowledge of faith carry tremendous power whenever applied. Faith is the fuel that drives us when our muscles are weak and our minds are tired, but our spirits are still on fire. Faith is the nourishment that will sustain us when the world seems to bear no fruit. No clients, nobody's downloading your PDF, nobody's DMing you to do any work. Faith is what sustains. Faith can be inspired, but ultimately it is found within each individual and therefore cannot be taken away. It's in you. Good morning, beautiful Khadija. Thank you for joining. Yes. Limiting beliefs, what you think bring about. Yes. If you believe you can't, you are correct. Good afternoon, Mary Doise, all the way from the UK. Yes, absolutely. Faith sustains. I heart you, Khadija. Thank you, beautiful. So faith can be inspired, but ultimately is found within each individual and therefore cannot be taken away. Faith is ours to discover, to lift us up, to share with others so that they too may find faith in themselves. When you have a difficult time believing in yourself, it's because you're not focusing on the truth of who you are. And I am going to submit to you that the creator of the universe, the creator of you, right, the potter, is the only person that you should be giving any credence, any deference, any kind of influence to when it comes to who you are. And let me remind you, the creator says you're fine. The creator says you are his masterpiece. The creator says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Believe that. Believe that. One of my clients, Deborah, we had this conversation, maybe sometime last year. And this idea that when somebody comes upon you and they say, oh, you're no good, or you think you're so special, or you can't do that, we immediately believe it as if they are ruler and governor and president and general manager of the universe. Like what they say goes. But they can't breathe air into you. They haven't breathed life into you. They can't create another human. So why do we give that person so much influence over our belief? God's already told us what the deal is. He said you were created just below the angels. The angels who march in the army of God are powerful beings. Powerful. And we are just below them? He didn't say you're way down here. You were created way down below the angels. No, ma'am. He said you were created just below the angels. There is infinite power within you, within me, within all of us. Our opportunity is to grab hold of that truth and believe. So the conversation I was having with Deborah was, if somebody came to you and said, Juliet, the grass is purple and the sky is orange, you wouldn't go, oh my God, the grass is purple. What are we going to do? The grass is purple. You would quickly, with the quickness, look at that person, Juliet, and think, oh, they are not well today. We might need to Baker Act them or something like that. you wouldn't give it a second thought. You wouldn't think like, oh my gosh, in and out, in one ear, out, out. No, it doesn't even filter through your subconscious because you just completely rejected it. It hasn't even gone deep down. But the minute somebody says something about us, we take it as gospel. We start to second guess, we start to doubt, then we don't believe in ourselves. Absolutely, Jacqueline. Yes, ma'am. Anything, all things are possible through Christ. You know, I show you what's it. This is right. You got to have faith. I got faith. It's right here. And I want to encourage you to just believe. What you believe in is what was implemented from experiences. Absolutely. And here's the thank you for that, Juliet. And here's the challenge with that, right? It's years and years and years and years of compounded experiences that you're coming up against. Yeah, Juliet, especially from your parents. Years and years and years and years. So don't give yourself too much grief if right now you're still stuck in that non-belief, if you will, but know that there is hope. I want you to anchor yourself in hope. Know that you can get relief. It is a choice. It sounds simple because it is. You can choose a different belief system. You can choose. You can declare. This is why affirmations are great. This is why getting a theme song is great, because when you're listening to music and your vibration is like going on to next level, at the cellular level of who you are, it starts to take that in, right? So if it's Beyonce, if it's Lady Gaga, if it's Tina Turner, whomever, that you need to source inspiration and borrow their belief, then please do that. Take what you need. Take what you need. This is why I love to read. This is why, for me, this show is just so perfect, because we get an opportunity to learn from other experiences, right? So Julia is saying experiences, especially from our parents, but guess what? We get to counteract. You know, you make, where are all my chefs? Where are all my master chefs in the house? You know that if you're making, let's say you're making a sauce and you got a little heavy-handed with the vinegar, what do? Good morning, beautiful Michelle. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, isn't that the truth? What do you do when you're making your world famous, homemade, made from scratch pasta sauce, spaghetti sauce, and you put a little bit too much vinegar? You went a little much with the white wine vinegar. How do we counteract that? Yes, ma'am. Here comes Melody. Khadijah says start over. Khadijah, that's one option. We just add a little sugar and we keep it moving. Add a little sugar, because the sugar counteracts the acidity of the vinegar. Here is a little sugar. Here is a little sugar. Here is a little sugar. And honey, let me just give you, here is the organic. Here is the organic sugar, the best sugar of them all. Read the word, stay in the word, believe the truth of what the creator of the universe said about you. Affirm yourself every day. affirm yourself every day. And so, whoops, when somebody is telling you can't do something, it's because they themselves have their own fear and limiting beliefs that they're projecting onto you. And you just want to lovingly reject that notion, right? You want to lovingly reject that notion. Absolutely. Add some sweetener. So let's continue on. What does faith look like? This will be different for each individual. You may demonstrate faith through encouragement of others. Perhaps you persist at the one task that is your definite purpose, but that you have not yet mastered. It could be the impassioned debates you have with others who doubt your purpose. Faith inspires action. When I decided I was going to really step into being the CEO of me, and let me tell you, it was intentional, but the timing was all God. The timing was all God. Good morning, beautiful Pamela. Yes, we lovingly reject that. Absolutely. So 2008 recession, I'm the chief strategy officer for a large advertising agency in Minneapolis. Recession hits, of course, the people who make the most money are like, where they can look to like cut and save money. So that happened. And then I was like, okay, so what am I going to do? So I was like, okay, I know so many people, so many clients. I'm going to start doing some consulting work while we sort out what's going on with this economy. And started doing that, did some consulting work for a large corporation north, and it ended up being so good a connection. They offered me a full-time position, but it was kind of like I was freelance, but I wasn't freelance. I was a W-2 salaried employee with benefits, vacation, the whole thing, but I worked from Florida. So I would just travel back and forth to the office as needed. So it was great. But at some point, right, so the knock, here I am, here I stand, knocking at the door, waiting, right? God was always knocking because my destiny, my purpose was greater than I was stepping into. I was playing comfortable. I could do what I do with my eyes closed and my hand tied behind my back. That didn't stretch me, didn't push me, right? And so I started to really lean into this idea of becoming the CEO of me and being analytical, as I tend to be, logical, kind of left brain dominant, even though, of course, I'm very much also right brain dominant because I love all things fashion and design and interior design, decorating, all that stuff. If I wasn't a strategist, I would have my own show on HGTV. So I was like, okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna need to lean into this a little bit more because, the burning desire kept coming up. Little evidence here and there kept coming up that, this is just the station that you're at. This is not the end of the line. Keep going, get back on the train and keep moving. So I was like, all right, I'm going to figure out my exit strategy. I'm going to get my Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to calculate what my carrying costs are, how much money I need to run my life, all that, But you know what that was? That was just procrastination disguised in strategic planning. Because truth be told, I was just like, not I wasn't in my big faith, right? I was like, am I going to be able to be the CEO of me and live the lifestyle to which I have become accustomed? That was my little faith, no belief, no, all things are possible through Christ, thinking I needed to be with a major corporation in order to make it. Because my mortgage, my carrying costs for my house was like $5,000 a month, just the house. Don't talk about me and my stuff and my accoutrements and my joie de vivre that I need for me to get my joy going. So there I was, I'm working it out. I'm going to figure it out, how much money I need to have in the bank, what I need to do. And listen, My father is no fool. I'm talking about my heavenly father. He was like, look at this chick trying to dilly-dally, trying to procrastinate, trying to play small, trying to act like she doesn't know I got her. And he knew full well I would dilly-dally with this pivot table Excel spreadsheet trying to figure out how much money I needed to leave my job. I wasn't going to leave because the faith at that time wasn't big enough. I wasn't going to leave. My faith walk that I'm on now was nowhere near where it is now. So I didn't have big faith. I didn't have anything. I was just like thinking it's all me. And I got to figure this thing out. How am I going to get this money? So I get a call from my boss. Was like on a Thursday, I think. And he's like, I just want to tell you, you did such a great job with the analysts. You really motivate them every time you're in the office. And so we're going to need you to move. I live in Florida. Did I tell you that? I live in Florida, loving living in Florida. So happy and grateful now that I live in Florida. We're going to need you to move up north. This is in New Hampshire. I'm sorry. Wait, what? What did you do? What did you just say? Move. And in that moment, because he needs an answer, because if I don't move, I don't have a job. Pretty much that's what was going down. You work from Florida and come and fly and visit, a couple times a month was no longer going to be feasible. So you either move or there is no job for you. And in that moment, I had to make that decision. And of course, that was just a deal breaker. Just no way I could move. We had just gotten into our place in Port St. Lucie. Just no. So when I told him my answer, and then in that realization, I almost started to hyperventilate. I'm like, holy crap. 66% of my money just walked out, gone. That was when I had to grab hold of big faith. That was when I had to really lean in and say, God did not carry me this far to drop me on top of my head and leave me under a bridge, under the Roosevelt Bridge, homeless. That's not going to happen. So I had to reach in for evidence of when God got me before. And that's what I'm going to encourage you guys to do. Because I don't pretend that having faith is easy. It's simple, not easy, but we have to get into practice. So the readings, the coming to the Brand Momentum morning show every morning, to get fed that little extra bit of sugar to help counteract the vinegar of the negativity and the people in your life who are saying, no, no, no. So with all the love, my mother and my husband, wasn't my husband at the time, when are you going to get a job? When are you going to get a real job? When are you going to get a real job? Aren't you going to get a real job? Good morning, Ebenezer. Thank you so much for joining all the way from the motherland. I'm so grateful to you for showing up. Thank you. Good morning, Brenda. You're funny. Juliet, this is my mission. This is what the mission of the show is: inspire into action. So I just tell my truth and share with you what I went through to be the person that you see sitting here in front of you. And I'm still growing. But I want to be that source of inspiration because there's so many people. This is why I'm doing a live summit. Stay tuned, guys. It's either going to be at the end of this, well, maybe not the end of this month. I have to sort that out. Maybe the end of this month or early in the beginning of next month. I'm going to be doing a live summit on the idea of being or becoming the CEO of you, and bringing together a whole host of speakers from doctors who talk about, entrepreneur fatigue to beautiful, gorgeous woman out in LA who's head of a chamber of commerce, just to give one place where all the resources are so that you know what you need and you can get resources to be armed up to really stand in your knowing that if you have a burning desire to become the CEO of you, that it is possible. And I want to be able to bring that resource to you. Faith, when are you going to get a good job? Aren't you going to send your resume out? Send your resume out. Get a job, get a real job. Who's ever heard anybody tell it, get a real job? But I had to stand in the big faith, even when I myself didn't even see it, even when I would be steeped in worry. How is this going to go down? What's going to happen? So when that happened, I was like, okay, right, let's get real. Let's get pragmatic. The carrying cost for the house alone is $5,000. You can't stay here. You can't afford it. You just don't have that money flowing in anymore. So we've got to move, right? The train's coming. Get off the tracks. What are you going to do? So I reached out to a gentleman that I knew when I was in Minneapolis. He worked for a corporate leasing company. And I wanted to find his number to talk about putting my house on corporate leasing. Now, let me just remind you that the house is a 5,000 square foot house on a lake with a pool and a big ass water feature. And I was like, okay, so this needs to go down. Sunday. So normally, listen, like I told you, my faith walk was not anywhere near it was right now. So Sundays for me are like recovery days. Sundays for me are hangover days, because I'm out in the streets just doing me, right? Flying to Vegas, going to Celine Dion concerts, la joie de vie, right? So this Sunday, woke up like around 6 or so, and nobody ever accused me of being a morning person. And turned on the television, and it was Joel Osteen was preaching a sermon, and it was talking about this little girl and her dad, and they would take the train every single day. But the dad already has the tickets for the week. And then when they would see the train coming, and he would give her ticket Monday, and she gets on the train, and the dad gets on the train. Then Tuesday, same thing. He sees the train coming. He's like, there's your ticket to board. By Wednesday, she's like, Dad, why don't you just give me all my tickets? Because I know you have it. And we do the same thing. Just give me all of my tickets now so I have it when Thursday come, Friday come, Saturday come, and just get on the train. And the moral of the story was, God's going to give you what you need each day. Don't worry about, well, I want this for next year. I want to make sure I have, the 50 clients already lined up so I can see down the road that it's okay for me to go be the CEO of me. Have the faith to know God's going to provide for you every single day. Hear the prayer. Give us this day our daily bread. It does not say, give us this year our annual lump sum. Give us this year our 5,000 new followers on Instagram. Give us this day our daily bread. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has its own challenges to come. Be present in the now. Be still and know that I am God. Next sermon was Dr. Charles Stanley. And his was about having idols in your life and different things. And I was like, maybe my house is an idol in my life. Because I built that sucker from the ground up. Like it was dirt. And I built it and had in the back built like a stage, right? Because we're extra like that. Built a stage so that when I have my parties, which is I actually did when I had my housewarming party, had a musician group flying from New York to play at my open house. So when he was talking about idols in your life, because I was doing whatever I needed to do in terms of work and stuff, because I'm like, oh my God, I can't be late on my mortgage. I can't mess up my credit. So it was just like, but I was in just not a place of joy. I wasn't like, I couldn't woosah because it's like, oh my God, I got to do what I got to do. The house. So finally, when I let that go, I was just like, okay, we got to get out of here. Like, I just need to like call a spade a spade. I can't afford this house anymore because now I've been laid off or I've left my job because I don't want to move to another state. And that morning, those two messages hit me. So I'm telling you, that was just literally God himself. And I wrote a check for $25 to each ministry. Never done that before. Mailed it off to Joel Osteen, mailed it off to Charleston. $25 each. Remember now, I'm telling you, I'm looking for the corporate leasing dude to get my house in corporate leasing so I can get out of here because I can't afford to pay the mortgage anymore. And I was looking for this guy's info, couldn't find it, called another woman, didn't get the vibe, didn't think she really understood the neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. So didn't sign the leasing with her. And then lo and behold, like maybe like 5 or 6 p.m. that evening, I finally found his phone number, called him. He came over 7-ish. We signed the paperwork. 7:30 that same night, he calls me. Listen to me, people. Everybody come close. This is what I'm talking to you about. Have faith. He says, oh, I have a woman who is looking for like an executive house, but she doesn't want any water because she's got, young twin boys, but she's going to come anyway tomorrow. So Jim and I leave, we go to breakfast and we're waiting for her to like come and see and leave. 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, she still ain't leave yet. I'm like, can we come home now? And she signed. I was offering a 1-year lease on my house for $3,000 a month. This woman, her husband hasn't seen it yet, secured the property, and she said she wants a 2-year lease. You tell me God is not good. Now, I only gave $50. I only gave $25 to Joel Osteen, $25 to Charles Stanley. My house is $3,000 a month. There's a special type of person who can be paying $3,000 a month for rent, for lease. She was a VP at Christopher and Banks. Did I tell you that my house sits on a lake with a pool with water? And she said she didn't want any water because she has 2 young babies, but God supernaturally closed her eyes. Not only did she was like, yes, she wanted it longer than I was even offering. People told me, that big house of yours with a 3-car garage? Oh no, honey, that's going to be on the market for at least 18 months. That's a big house. That you need to find a special person. Yes, Mary, that's God at work. Because my burning desire was so present. My burning desire was, yes, if I'm not in my job, right? I'm for sure not going to stay in Minneapolis and struggle and freeze. That's not happening. I knew I was so determined to get out that when I put, so she gets the house, we put our stuff, most of the big furniture in storage, and I had a box of my coats. So I'm still in Minneapolis now at like a little teeny tiny apartment. And let me tell you, I refused to open that box. I was literally wearing just like a denim jacket with like a faux fur neckline and a big scarf. Because I told myself, I said, Faith, if you open that box of coats, that's you signaling to God, universe, you plan to stay in Minneapolis. And I refused to open the box. I was like, nope. I'm in my car. I'll run to wherever I need to go quickly, in and out of the stores if I need. I am not opening up a coat box like I'm trying to get comfortable and get settled in to a small, teeny, tiny apartment freezing in Minneapolis. No, honey, I will freeze in Minneapolis in my big, comfortable house. Thank you. Otherwise, we're out. And I was so laser focused on that burning desire, that out of the blue, Jim doesn't even remember when he gave this resume to a recruiter. He had no recollection. This recruiting company calls him, like, oh, hey, we're looking at your resume and there's a plant health manager position in Tallahassee. Are you interested? He was like, I don't even know. I said, honey, that is south enough. Take the job. Let's go. God at work. faith, believe. Because what I didn't do in that moment is I didn't panic and I didn't go, oh, let me go find a good job. Let me go find a good job because blah, 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 blah. I remained still. God tells us your ways are not my ways, your thoughts are not my thoughts. So in that moment, I knew, Katie, right? I tell this story because it so completely transformed my life. So I just gave God a little bit, $25. What's any ministry going to do with $25? And God 10x, 50x gave me a woman who was a corporate woman who's like, yep, I want your house for 2 years. I mean, when I tell you she kept that place like it was a model home, it was insane. So now we're in Tallahassee. I'm like, look, that is south enough. It is good. We are grateful. And I said, okay, that's it. God has shown himself so powerfully to me. I need to really like get in relation with him. So I'm going to be now looking for a church home because listen, before, I mean, I knew Jesus and God, I had faith, you know, but it's just like, hey, Jesus, what's up? Hey, we're not besties. We're not having any key conversations, nothing. We're just like, hey, God, hey, Jesus, what's up? Tell Jesus I said, hey, and I would be keeping it moving. So now I'm like, okay, that was crazy. That was all God. We know that to be sure. Now you have my attention. So I'm going to find a home. I'm going to like really show up now and really get into a knowing and an understanding and a relationship and build my faith. So I make a list because, you know, being the analytical, come with the list. So I found 3 churches and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go visit and see which one would be a good church home. The first one I went to, so remember we're in Tallahassee. So the first one I went to was Good Samaritan Methodist Church, small church. I mean, small church to the point that there are no big pews, like individual chairs, small church. Hey, we're not judging. So I come in and I sit down and nobody knows me from Adam because I'm new in Tallahassee. And so I'm sitting in, just, trying to get a feel for the place. And because I was in such a yearning, because I was in such a state of readiness to find out what was bigger and more possible for me, because obviously God is, I'm telling you, I've got stuff for you to do. Let's get focused over here and stop your foolishness with that thing that you were doing called life. I'm so desirous. I hear the pastor say communion. That's all I need. Oh, jump right up, right? So I look around and I'm like, what's wrong with this church? Like only like a handful of people were going to do communion. I'm like, whatever, that's on them. I'm going to take communion. So up I go. And then I look to my right, there's this woman. She's like, oh, did you want to serve? Out of my mouth, people, listen to me. Yes, that was not me. That was Holy Spirit speaking for me, because who says, yeah, they want to serve communion in a church they've never been to where nobody knows their name and they've never seen the pastor a day in their life? Yes, came out of my mouth. She sat back down. Again, this woman, nobody knows me. I walk up, the pastor, she doesn't say a word to me. She hands me, listen, just like I was like head of Bible study, she hands me the chalice with the blood of Christ, and then she invites up the church. So the very first day I go seeking God to get big faith, I am serving the blood of Christ in a church that was so open, so welcoming, not judgy, not like, you're not ordained, you're not anointed, you can't be serving the blood of Christ. Sit down, woman. The blood of Christ serves you. The blood of Christ. So they're coming and they're dipping in my chalice, and I'm saying the blood of Christ saves you. The blood of Christ restores you. Khadija, only God. Only God. So when I say, can't nobody tell me nothing, can't nobody move me from my faith walk, can't nobody what are you going to tell me? There's no Jesus, there's no God. That's good on you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm going to tell you I'm walking in my big faith. So faith, believe, all things are possible. We can't see, we don't know. I could not have scripted in my analytical, logical type A personality. I could have not have scripted that. You know, there's a part in the Bible where I think it was Elisha, where he was saying, you know, God, open up my servant's eyes so he can see, because he couldn't see anything. And when he opened up his eyes, then he could see the entire army of God, of angels surrounding them like, look, we got you. God supernaturally closed that woman's eyes. How do you say you don't want water and you have 3 bodies of water and you're like, give it to me for 2 years? That's God. All right, Melanie? God, God, God. Yes, Khadija, no mistakes. God makes no mistakes. He is purposeful. He is intentional. He is prepared. He is ready. He has the plan. And we just need to surrender into our faith and just believe that if he says you're fearfully and wonderfully made, if he says you're created just below the angels, he has a masterful plan for your life. So we just have to believe. Have big faith. Have big faith. I can't even begin to tell you guys how important that is, because it's almost like a battery, like a self-charging battery. You believe, more things happen for you to believe, right? We started off in the reading where it says your mindset, if you're thinking negative, you're going to attract more negative. If you're thinking positive, you're going to attract more positive. Yeah, Katie. So much better, right? But this is what he says. More than anything that you could ever think or imagine. This is the God that we serve. This is the God who is the creator of the universe. This is the God who has a master plan for my life, and I just need to fall in line. So I tell you that story because it's so fantastical that if you didn't know me, you probably would have thought I made it up. Because which church can you just go in and serve communion? Like, isn't that for like people, right? People who have been studied and people who have shown themselves to be of good moral character. Some stranger off the street walks in and she's serving the blood of Christ. At the end of the service, I went up to the pastor and I said to her, I want to apologize to you. I said, that was not my intention. I was just here, checking out the church, and I just heard communion and I just popped up. I thought you called for communion. And she looked at me and she said, don't even worry about it. She said, I didn't say anything to you because I knew God was doing a work. Wow. Amazing. She said she knew God was doing a work. So, and my life from that point has forever been changed. Forever been changed. And when I tell you I move fearlessly, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For God, thou art with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I know I am protected. I know I am covered. I know I am anointed. I know the favor of God rests heavy on my shoulder. It is important for you to affirm that. It is important for you. God created you so you can praise him, give him glory and thanks. Because that's all listen, we're children. That's all. You know how you go to the park and you see a mom sitting there and her little kids playing and you just sit back like, just so proud and so happy? That's God. He wants to just kick back and look at his children and go like, oh, look at Marianne. That's so wonderful. Look at her go. I'm so pleased with her. Oh, look at Khadijah. How she's just showing up and oh, that makes me so happy. Just like a proud parent. But when we show up in doubt, when we go, oh, listen to me, if the people could get man on the moon when they didn't know how, right? When they didn't know. Good morning, Sylvia. Yes, absolutely powerful. I mean, and right, and in such a big and specific way. This was the woman who was, I'm telling you, meeting her, friends in Vegas, having a grand old time. Listen, I was just so crazy in the streets. Let me tell you, people, even when I moved from New York and I moved to Minneapolis, because I had gotten recruited to go be, group account director on the TWA Airlines account and AG Edwards Financial Services account. But listen, honey, my money was long. I would fly back to New York for a party. This is how we were living la vida loca. I remember once this one guy said to me, he's like, didn't you move? It's like, listen, honey, I was good time Tina. You know why I know her so well? Because I was good time Tina. Did you say there's a dance in Brooklyn? Oh, who's playing? Oh, honey, I am there. So the fact that I'm telling you that I had this experience, it almost feels to me sometimes a little bit like a Paul, like a Saul moment when he was just like on the road to Damascus. It feels like that for me. And it was so specific, and like God knew it needed to be very specific for me because my logical brain can, analyze my way out of stuff. Well, of course that happened because so-and-so and so-and-so. Oh, because you knew this person and that connection. So that's why that happened. This is the first time I'm walking into this church. Don't know nobody from nowhere. Don't nobody know me. And I am serving. I have the chalice with the blood of Christ in my hand, serving communion. Juliet, I'm telling you, right? And remember I told you I had my list? This is how I knew. I'm like, listen, rip this list up. I am home. Shout out to Pastor Betsy Olette. I am home. Are you kidding me? I was so home. I didn't need to go anyplace else. I didn't need to see anything else. That alone, that heart, priceless. So be in your faith, be strong in your faith, believe. What I do, and I didn't, again, just start doing this, right? When I started making a decision to read daily the word, it was a chore, it was a struggle. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a chore and it was a struggle. Good morning, beautiful Yoli. Oh, hey, honey, thank you for joining. When I started reading the word, it was a struggle. Don't get me to Numbers, because Lord, have you ever read the book of Numbers? And it was like, oh, I have to do that. And then, but here's the thing that I want you to pick from what I'm saying to you. I am a determined, decided, resolved person. When I say I'm going to do something and it's a burning desire and I put my efforting into it, even when it's tough, even when it's hard, I'm pushing through. So when I say to you, how do you complete a 20,000 mile march? And it's one step at a time. That's what I'm encouraging you to do, because that's what I've done, one step at a time. And I would read and read. And I remember I had a friend who was working at a PR firm in Jersey, and she had a thing that's how to read the Bible in a year. And that's the first person who got me started on that. And ever since, like, you see these tabs. So I start in the Old Testament, and then I start in the New Testament. Then I do Psalms 23, Psalms 91, Colossians 1:9 every single day. Those three ones in the middle get read every single day. And then I read from the beginning of the Old Testament to the end of it. And then I start over again. And then I read from the beginning of the New Testament, get to the end, start over. I am never not reading the Bible, ever. That's like when I said to you yesterday, like get more log and like stoke the fire. That's how I stoke my fire. Because when I read in the book of Job, how Job had la pura vida, I mean, he was big balling out of control. And Satan came and was like, oh, you think Job is so special? Just give him to me. Let me show you. I can break him. And God said, do what you need to do. You can't take his life, but go. And Job lost everything, lost his big mansion, his family, his influence. He was just a hot mess in the streets, but he still hung on to his what? His faith, and believed, even though nevertheless. And how did Job make out in the end? That would be because we serve a God of multiplication, double beauty for ashes. The comeback was strong, more than he had, more than he had. Yes, he did, because he held on to the faith. So I'm not telling you that there are not going to be days of challenge or struggle or any of that stuff. But what I want you to hear me say is, yesterday we talked about identifying your burning desire. Chapter 2, faith. Lock into it. I want to show you, right, so you can have this visual. Lock in visualization of belief in attainment of the desire. I don't care if you don't have a paying client right now, believe. I don't care if you do a live and ain't nobody showing up, believe. I don't care if you send out an email and that would be crickets, believe. Believe. It could look dry in the desert. Like when Elijah said, go look and see if you see anything in the sky that looks like rain. And his helper goes and he's like, nope, that'll be ain't nothing in the sky. Next day, go look. Tell me if you see anything that looks like clouds. Nope. Next day, go look. Right? He didn't lose like, oh my God, I thought God told me rain was coming, and I checked in 2 days and still no rain. And I just don't even understand. Forget it. Like, it's not where they tricked me. He kept looking. He kept sending his helper to go look until one day the helper came back and said, he's like, I see like a small little cloud. Looks like a small little rain. I'm not sure. It looks like a small little rain cloud. He's like, that's it. Get ready for the abundance of rain. Tell the king he better hightail out of here because rain is coming. You got to stay in it. You got to stay in belief. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So get your burning desire. Lock into faith. Believe, because the faith is the fuel. The faith is it's the log on the fire. You stoke it. You get another log. You put it on, even if what? Who is in the house? Beautiful, gorgeous Indira. My love, thank you for blessing us with your presence. I love it. Yes, when you believe. When the fire is blazing, if you don't keep it stoked, that fire eventually starts to go down. You need to put another log on the fire. And that log on the fire is your faith. You have to believe, because your belief feeds on top of your belief and gives you more. And then you want to stay looking for what? The evidence. Even if it's teeny tiny. I'm going to wrap you with this, and it's important that you hear this story. I want you to hear this story from me so much that you could actually get up and present it. say, my mentor, she's this woman down in Florida, and she told the story of, I want you to get this so deep in your soul, because this is me, this is my truth, it's my reality. So now I'm in Florida. We're now in Stewart. And I'm like, I'm thinking about really leaning into this CEO of me thing, but still kind of just playing around the edges. Tasha says, why don't you do a workshop? Meanwhile, at this point, I'm still doing that corporate job that I was telling you, the one that was in New Hampshire. And I was like, workshop. So I borrowed, listen to me, I borrowed her belief. Because she saw something, she was like, oh yeah, do a branding workshop. People will be into that. So when you have the people around you who can see from a different point of view than you can see, just stay open. Sometimes we want to question and ask, and then we miss it. Be in the moment of the inspiration. She said, I want you to do a workshop. I'm like, workshop? All right. So I said, well, let me try it out. So I went to Vero Beach networking, and you do your 30-second commercial. And then at the end of it, I think I had like, what did I have? Like a couple, but I don't know what I had. I think I was talking about my legal chill or something. Also planning on putting together a branding workshop. I think I shared that I had just presented, because I had presented at the manifesting event. I had just presented, had a really successful talk at the manifesting event. I'm going to do a follow-up workshop. So if you're interested in learning more or being a part of that, you can just come up to me at the end and give me your business card. So I'm at a networking event now. This is just me putting it out there, just like, hey, it's like, when you go fishing, you like cast, we'll see what happens. I just cast it out there. 5 people came up to me and said, here's my card. I want to know more. I was like, holy crap. I guess I am putting on a workshop. I had no plans, no location, no content, no nothing. I just said it. I want you to remember in Genesis, when God was creating the earth, if you read the word, you'll see that it says, and God said, let there be light. He didn't just think it, feel it in his heart. And God said, let there be light. You must say and declare your burning desires. You must write them down, repeat them, say it out loud. I am so happy and grateful now that I have generated $500,000 in my business by June 3rd, 2021. In exchange for that $500,000, I am willing to show up and be fully transparent in my power every single day on all my social media platforms. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be bold to say it out. Because even when I see people are like, oh, she crazy? That what? By June? That's not, See, I live in Faithville. You can't try to put your smallness on me, because I serve a bigger God. Be that bold. Say your stuff out. And God said, let there be light. And he said the light was awesome. So I said, I'm going to be doing a branding event. Say your stuff. I'm going to be putting on a masterclass on helping parents become more connected to their children. Say your stuff right now in the comments. I know we can't speak out loud, but I want to write it down. I'm going to say it out loud for you so it goes out into the universe, right? I am standing in the gap for you. I am taking a stand for you right now. Let me say your stuff. What are you declaring? And then we're going to wrap. I will see everybody tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, as we do every single weekday. Give me your stuff. Let me say it for you in faith, standing with you. What are you having a burning desire for? Let us say it out. Say it out loud. Dare to hear it, not just have it murmur. Okay. So Jacqueline says she is having a webinar on how to be a badass in your life. So hi, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Langlandi. So great to meet you. Listen, just want to let everybody know I'm going to be having a webinar on how to be a badass in your lifestyle. If that is something that is of interest to you, I want you to go ahead and connect with me, send me a friend request, DM me if you want to get in. The space is going to be limited. You want to be sitting up front because I am going to be bringing the magic when it comes to lifestyle. I'm the CEO and founder of JYL Image and Lifestyle. Looking forward to connecting with you. And so it is, Jacqueline. Khadija, what specifically, something that you can say, something tangible? So yes, we're declaring abundance. Khadija Adams is declaring full abundance in all areas of her life, in her relationship, in her business, in the way that she connects with the humans and the animals. Everything is just abundance, overflow, the joie de vivre. Everything is good, but something specific, like we know God said, let there be light. He didn't just say, let there be something, right? Call it. We need to call it by name. Hi, my name is Juliet. I just want to let you know I am the CEO of me. I will be open to Juliet. This is why I want you to push it. I'm going to be launching my company is called Juliet, right? Whatever it's called, Juliet. And this is what we're going to be focused on. Juliet, I need you to get into the accelerator right now. This is, I'm just like feeling like spirit on my head so heavy. Everybody, if you're not in accelerator, get an accelerator right now. We are in the middle of the March Madness Brand Visibility Challenge, where I'm teaching every single accelerator exactly this thing, how to get out there to fully express, be in the full expression of you, to be bold. One of the inspiration we used was Bob Marley's Bad Card. You guys know that song? The only first two lines I want you to be focused on. Them I got tired for see my face. Can't get me out of the race. That means you're just going to be everywhere. The people are just going, oh my gosh, Juliet again? Yes, ma'am. And look for me later tonight, because I may come back on and give you another good word. Be unapologetic. There's a line in the song that says, I want to turn my disco up. I want to turn up my disco. Blow them full watts tonight, right? Turn up your disco. We can't be playing small anymore. We have work to do. March is Women's History Month. Ladies, we've got to get up and start making history. If you're not in the accelerator program, comment accelerator below. So let's see. Yes, $5,000 a month in 3 months. Give it a specific date, $5,000 a month. And remember the chapter 1. What are you willing to do in exchange for that? In exchange for receiving this $5,000 a month, I am going to do what, Khadija? I am going to launch my women's group. I am going to launch my podcast, and right, the thing that you're going to be in action in exchange for. Yes. And see, Jacqueline's adding fun, easy paying clients, loads and loads of fun for the water company, for company Water for Life. Yes. And so Khadija, can you do like a Wednesday water live, watering Wednesdays, and get on and talk about your company and Water for Life and what it means. I'm just assuming what this is, but I'm saying in terms of what, show up and talk about it. Women's retreat, mental body at the end of this month. Ooh, flawless, fearless, feminine. Oh, I love it. Flawless, fearless, feminine, fierce, all of it. We're here for all of it, Juliet. And so that you want to go out and talk about that, say, hey, just in case you didn't know, it's Women's History Month. And for all of the women out there who are ready to gather themselves up and get their mental and their body all, kind of sorted out, at the end of this month, I'm going to be doing the Flawless Fearless workshop. If you want to learn more about it, send me an email. Let me give you a quick tip, guys. If you don't have a ClickFunnels, a funnel, or anything to do, downloadable PDFs, opt-in, all that stuff, here is the no-tech, low-tech way. send me an email. Hi, this is Faith. I'm the CEO and founder of the Personal Branding Consultancy. So excited to be here with you. Before I get started, and I don't want anybody distracted, watch me, anybody distracted with taking notes or missing anything, I'm going to give you a super, super easy way to get everything that I'm going to be talking about here. Who wants all my slides and all the links that are in here? Of course, everybody's going to raise their hands like, great, pull your phone out right now. So then you pull your phone out and you're like, okay, go ahead, open up your mail. And I want you to type in the following: faith@faithjames.com. So let's just say if I was live, I might do, let's see if I have this here. I might do this. Okay. So that right now, open your phone. This is the only time in the meeting that I'm going to give you permission to get on your phone. So open your phone, send me an email. What do you have? Yahoo, AOL, Hotmail? I don't judge. Open your phone, send me an email, and just say, give me the slide. That's a subject line. You don't need to do anything else. And so I would do that for like a minute or two. Okay, did everybody send? Everybody who wants the slide, did you send it? Perfect. So now all eyes on me, all eyes up here. You don't have to worry about grabbing. I'm literally going to give you the slides plus my presentation notes. All right. So everybody's good. Woosa, here we go. Do you know what I just did? I just did a no tech, low tech opt-in. That's what you can do if you're doing a webinar, if you're doing a quick little Facebook Live thing. In exchange, showing up live on, there you go. Got to be specific. In exchange for this, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm committing to doing. Showing up and disturbing your neighbors, showing up and turn your disco up. So grateful for a minimum of 4 corporate events per month, earning a minimum of $5K per event by 3/21. In return, I save my clients time and money. It's easy for them to connect. So in return for this is, Melody, what you're committing to doing. So in return for getting a minimum of 4 corporate clients per month with a minimum of 5K per event, here's what I'm going to do in exchange. I'm going to turn the big 3 into the big 3 on 5. So we're coming live to you now 5 days a week. We're going to be broadcasting live from different locations. We're going to be doing X, Y, and Z. It's what are you willing to do in exchange? Yeah? Yeah. Julia, what do you mean you need email? Yes, exactly. Being it. Being the attraction that you want to attract, being the energy that you want to attract, Jacqueline, absolutely. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Yeah. And Pamela, let me know if you don't get, because it'll come into your Facebook Messenger. If you don't get something today, please reach out to me and let me know, because it is so important. Guys, listen to me. This is a $97 one-time investment. This doesn't even require a conversation. And I'm being this bold with you because, like I said, it's March. Q1 is almost done. We can't dilly-dally anymore. We've got to get in and ask for the help. I'm offering myself right now. March Madness is going to be fire. Already, Jacqueline, who is in the accelerator program, has gotten so much engagement just because she took the challenge and showed up and did the thing. Mary Doissé from the UK, in exchange, I will go live 4 times a week on my social media platforms. There you go, baby. Turn up your disco. I want to turn up my disco, blow them full watts tonight in a rub-a-dub style. Unbothered, we don't care, because we've got work to do. Oh, so Julia, that was just an example. I was just giving you an example of what you would do for your flawless fearless. So when you gather the people on Zoom and you, or typically you do this if you're physically in a room, and you're like, oh, I don't have a way to collect email from all these people. I don't know these people in the audience. It's not like they're on a list somewhere that I can grab them. That's how you get people that you don't know immediately onto your list. You stand at the front of the stage if you're presenting and say, I'm going to do you a huge favor. Who wants my slides, and who wants the presentation notes, and who wants all the links? And then you do it. You take your phone out. You're like, this is the only time I'm going to let you guys be on your phone, right? Open it up. What do you have? Yahoo, you can make a funny joke about it. AOL, Hotmail, I don't judge, whatever you have. Open it up, go to create new email. In the to section, type in my email, faith@faithjames.com, or Juliet at whatever your email is, Juliet, and just say, type in, give me the slides. I will have my team send you not only the slides, but the presentation notes and all of the links. And if you send me an email, I will also bonus you into my next masterclass training on brand development, whatever. And so you get people easiest, no tech, low tech way to get people on your list. Nice, on fire with today. So Juliet, this is what it is. It's accelerator. Just type this. It's on the screen here. Literally just type that in the comments now. Let me know if you don't receive anything, and I'll have the team follow up with you on that. Guys, I love you so much. You see how I do. I could be here forever. I want to be respectful of the time. This show was supposed to be like 30 minutes. When I first thought about it, I'm like, oh, I'll just do like a 30-minute morning show. But one thing, it's like when God says go, go, I don't question it. And the Holy Spirit was moving today, and I was just like, I just felt it. I wasn't even planning on telling you that story about me. But it just came out, and it was timely, and it needed to be said, and it needed to be heard, because you need to have a full, real person that you can look at and say, I know her, not just some glossy, prepared, highly slick produced video. This is me and you kikiing on a morning show that we just have we just bring our coffee and we have a chat. And I'm telling you, my big faith story of how I rose up into big faith, because the fact that woman took my house for 2 years when I was only asking for one, and said she didn't want water, and I have 3 different bodies of water. That was my clue, my evidence to say, just imagine if you had bigger faith. Look, what do you think I would do? Your faith was so little, all you could muster up was $25 to give Joel for the ministry and $25 to give to Dr. Stanley for them. Your faith was so small, that's all you could muster. But I just showed up and overwhelmed you with blessing so you could get it. Khadija, I love you so much. I'm so grateful that we've met. You have no idea. Thank you for seeing me and witnessing me and blessing me. I so appreciate you. Yeah, Juliet, you got it. Let me know if that comes to your Facebook Messenger. Yes, Pamela. Thank you, my love. So listen, make this appointment in your calendar, 10 a.m. Even if you have something on it, just set it as a recurring event, and it'll double book, and you'll know, okay, I have to go to the doctor this morning, so I'm not going to be with Faith at 10. But I need you to put this on your calendar, because this is how we really move into purpose and intention. It can't be, oh, if I catch it, I catch it. No. It's not if I catch it, I catch it. Khadija and Yoli, who are on here with me, are ladies, beautiful ladies that I met in this leadership training program that I was telling you guys about. And intention. So I'm not going to say too much about the program, because if you're going to do it, you need to have your own experience. I'm not going to share, but I'm just telling you that took a massive time commitment from us, massive. And we're getting back into the container again this Thursday and Friday. I'm going to be gone from 12 noon to midnight again for those 2 days, right? We're moving into the third phase. But even while that was going on, my regular life still had to go on. And one of the things that I do is that I'm in another year-long mentor program where it's like be in an alignment and integrity to your word. Make a commitment every day, not just, I'll see if I feel it. Commit, say something, do something. Put a stake in the ground. Today I'm going to do X, Y, Z, because what happens is we play small. We don't say, I'm going to do X. So if I don't say it, I don't have to do nothing. But no, we get to put something every single day. And at the end of the day, we get to reflect and go online and type in, did you keep your word today? So this isn't just like, oh, I'm just going to not. No, honey, it's being tracked. Did you keep your word today? So because I wanted to be in alignment and integrity with my word, there were many, I think, Yoli, what was that? Like maybe Wednesday night? We didn't go to bed till 3:30 in the morning. I still came back to my office, read my Bible, did my journaling, set my business intentions, because that is what I said I would do that day. And even though, nevertheless, make no excuses. So for me, when I show up, I want you to see what you're seeing in front of you is somebody who is intentional, somebody who's moving into big faith, somebody who's knowing that there is a bigger purpose in life for me. And I am done playing small. Time is a going. I have a destiny to fulfill. I understand that so well right now. This was not God's plan. Work and pay bills and die. That ain't it. That's not his plan for you either. So let me clue you in. So we have to show up with intention. Show up with intention. Michelle, I'm so glad you got in. Oh my gosh. So happy. Yes, absolutely, Khadija. No more playing small. We're done. That was cute for a minute. It's game time. It's go time. We've got work to do. It's Women's History Month. Let this kick off the fire. The fire, the turning up the disco, the disturbing the neighbors, the being unapologetic, the being unbothered, the being here for it all, the being of, I am a child of the King. I have royalty in my blood. I will govern myself accordingly. Thank you. Act like we know, ladies. Let's act like we know. All right. I love you so much. I am like, for real this time. I'm like, for real this time. I'm out. Peace, mwah, love. What's that like from the Soul Train? Peace, love, and soul. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I love you guys so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
No one ever sees me.